If you ever see someone sitting in the cold, trying to look strong while falling apart inside, stop. You never know, you might be the miracle they've been praying for. It was a rainy evening, the kind where the roads glistened under flickering streetlights and life slowed down for just a moment. In a quiet roadside diner, a man sat in the corner booth with his son, their laughter echoing faintly between the clinking cups and low hum of old country music. His name was Daniel, a single dad who had long learned that silence could be peaceful, but sometimes it was too quiet for comfort. He'd lost his wife years ago in a car accident, and since then, raising his 8-year-old boy, Ethan, had been both his purpose and his pain. That night, as he finished paying for their food, Daniel noticed something outside the fogged-up glass window, a woman in a soaked military jacket, sitting on the curb beside the diner. Her uniform patches were faded, her boots worn, and beside her were two little girls, twins, maybe 5 or 6 years old, huddled together beneath a tattered blanket. The woman's head was bowed, her hand trembling as she held a cup of coffee that had long gone cold. Something inside Daniel twisted. He could have ignored it, just another stranger, another sad story. But Ethan tugged at his sleeve and whispered, "Dad, those girls look like they're freezing." Daniel's throat tightened. He stood up, walked out into the rain, and approached the woman. "Ma'am," he said gently, "you and your girls okay?" The woman looked up, startled. Her eyes were red and exhausted. "We're fine, sir. Just waiting for the bus." Her voice was cracked, more from life than weather. Daniel looked down the empty road. There were no buses running this late. "You'll be waiting a long time," he said quietly. "You've got kids with you. Come inside, get warm." She shook her head quickly. "No, thank you. We'll be fine." But her twins were shivering. One coughed softly. That did it for Daniel. His heart wouldn't let him walk away. He took a deep breath and said with a firm, quiet voice that somehow carried more kindness than command, "You're coming with me." The woman froze. "What?" I said. "You and your girls, you're coming with me. You need a place to stay tonight." For a second, the soldier's eyes filled with tears, as if the offer itself was too much to believe. She hesitated, then finally nodded, whispering, "Thank you, sir." Her name was Captain Laura Mitchell, recently discharged from the army after serving overseas. She'd lost her husband in combat 2 years earlier and had been trying to rebuild life with her twin daughters, Lily and Lucy. But jobs were hard to find, and money had run out faster than she'd planned. Tonight, she'd been stranded after her old car broke down miles away. Daniel led them to his truck, offered his coat to the girls, and drove them home through the steady rain. Ethan sat in the back seat, chatting softly with the twins, making them laugh despite the cold. By the time they reached Daniel's small house, Laura had tears quietly streaming down her face, not from sadness this time, but from the strange warmth of being seen. That night, Daniel made hot soup, found spare pajamas for the twins, and offered Laura the guest room. She tried to protest, saying she didn't want charity. But he just smiled and said, "It's not charity, it's what people should do for each other." Over the next few days, something beautiful happened. The house that had felt too quiet suddenly came alive. Laughter returned. The twins and Ethan built blanket forts in the living room. Laura helped Daniel fix an old fence in the backyard. She found herself smiling again, something she hadn't done in months. But not everything was easy. Laura carried the invisible weight of trauma, flashbacks, guilt, fear of depending on anyone. One evening, Daniel found her sitting outside, staring at the stars, tears in her eyes. "Sometimes I feel like I'm still out there," she whispered. "Like I can't come home." "Not really." Daniel sat beside her, silent for a while. Then he said softly, "Maybe home isn't a place, Laura. Maybe it's people. Maybe you've already found it." That night, for the first time in years, Laura slept peacefully. Weeks turned into months. Laura found a job at the local community center helping veterans. Daniel's small construction business grew, partly thanks to her help managing things. Their kids became inseparable, a team. And though neither of them said it out loud, everyone around could feel it, something deeper was forming. One spring evening, they all went back to that same diner where they'd first met. The waitress smiled as she recognized them. "Looks like you've got quite a family there," she said. Laura looked at Daniel, her eyes soft. "Yeah," she whispered, smiling, "I think I do." Daniel reached across the table, took her hand, and said quietly, "You know, that night, I thought I was helping you. But truth is, you helped me more than you'll ever know." Laura smiled through tears. Maybe we saved each other. Outside, the world kept moving, cars passing, lights flickering, but inside that little diner, time seemed to stand still. A broken soldier, a lonely father, and 3 children who had found something rare in this world, a second chance at family. So if you're watching this right now, remember, kindness costs nothing, but it can change everything. Sometimes, all it takes is the courage to stop, and say, "You're coming with me." Sparkles, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because every click helps us bring more stories of hope, love, and humanity to life.